Hello, lovely gang. Hoping you're doing amazing. It's your little big sister here with another psychology sit down, a series that I've planned for you, even though it's not Mental Health Awareness Month. That was last month, but I feel like this is information that should be out there that you can share with your friends and your family, and that will improve your psychoeducation, your awareness about mental health and mental illness. And today, as you can see from the title of the video, we're going to be delving into anxiety. It's kind of a buzzword again, like how I was talking about how everyone akiachwa na chali yake anasema, oh, my boyfriend was a narcissist. You can watch that video here. You know, when I'm shooting in the opposite side, so I'm not sure where, but here above me I'll leave a card, the link to my previous video that I shot last week that talks about manifestation, that talks about narcissism and love bombing and manipulation in romantic relationships. So in that video, I'm talking about how nowadays on social media, the word narcissist has become a buzzword, just like how when someone is going through worrisome thoughts and is worrying about something, they might use anxiety as an adjective, and it's not diagnosed by like a mental health professional. They're not diagnosed, but wanasema, hey, niko na anxiety. Na maybe tu ni nerves, because nerves are normal in our everyday life. Because yeah, it's okay to worry about something, maybe a presentation, maybe pesa unangojea, maybe unangoja dili ivane, but it's actually a disorder. And so today we'll be delving into like what is anxiety, the different disorders under that category according to the DSM-5. In my previous video, I hope we remember, I know you are smart students, but I hope that we remember that the DSM-5 is a diagnostic and statistical manual for mental disorders that we psychologists and psychiatrists use to diagnose guys who have mental disorders. So hapo ndo unaangalia kama mtu ana qualify kukuwa diagnosed with a certain mental illness. And so we look at that in part 2 of the video. So this is part 1 where we're going to just talk about what it is, and then difference between a panic attack and an anxiety attack, because those have become also common. So it's good to know which one you have when you experience that, or if you experience that, or if you have experienced that before. Maybe ulikuwa unasema ni anxiety attack na kumbe ni panic attack, and vice versa. So we know that knowledge is power, and I hope that this will empower you to be able to share where if you're going through something similar, so that you can rid ourselves of the stigma, so that you can get help, so that you are aware. Because I feel like acceptance, not even feel, I know that acceptance is the first step towards getting any help, be it with your character, with your career, with your money, with your relationship. Like, you have to accept that, and yeah, I have a problem, and then you're like, what is my problem exactly? Defining it, and then from there you can be able to move on and treat the disorder and work on your problem, because you have awareness. Awareness is key. And so let's get right into talking about anxiety. So I will read the notes that I prepared for you guys from my research and from my knowledge as a psychology student, as a psychology major, yeah, and the internet, because who doesn't use the internet? It's there for our use, you know. It's a good tool and a good resource. So anxiety, the mental disorder, is a group of mental conditions characterized by excessive fear of or apprehension about real or perceived threats, leading to altered behavior and often physical symptoms such as increased heart rate or muscle tension. It's a group of mental conditions characterized by excessive fear of or apprehension about real, it could be real or perceived in your own perception as an individual, a perceived threat or a real threat, and that leads to altered behavior and often to physical symptoms, because anxiety lives in your body. Like, some of the symptoms and how it manifests can be felt physically in your body. And we have this common saying in psychology where we see that everything psychological is biological, meaning that it can be explained from a biological perspective, and it can be explained in the body, like in how the mind works, the chemicals that are produced, and stuff like that. So the symptoms are not only like behavioral, yes, but they're also physical and somatic in nature. So yeah, and of course, not everyone will experience the same set of symptoms, and therefore it's important to pay attention to what feels weird in your body and paying attention to your particular situation. Don't compare yourself maybe with someone else that you know that has anxiety. Of course, kuna a wide range of symptoms that we'll get to talk about in our next video. You can have a few, the other person can have a few, but work on a different combination than you from the whole set of symptoms, and therefore don't compare yourself with say, I that other person had ABC and me I have DEF, and therefore it's not anxiety. It can manifest differently, yeah. So from that, I hope you have an understanding of what it is. It causes fear, worry, excessive worry, not on excessive, because normal worry is normal because we have life situations that cause us to worry, give us doubts, give us stress and apprehension. But excessive worry is now like a warning sign, like, yo, this might be something serious, this might be a disorder, you know. And then you worry about something that's real, that can actually happen, and a perceived threat that is only threatening to you. Like how, for example, someone can walk into an elevator and they are nervous that it will fall, they'll have an accident, it will malfunction, and then another person in the same lift does not have that fear, but this other person who's thinking about the possibility of an accident, it could happen, it could not, it's a real threat, but it is a perceived threat in terms of like subjectivity, like the other person is experiencing that worry, the other person is not. But ni different na like watu wawili wako somewhere walking, then they both see a lion. That's a real threat. It cannot be influenced by your perception. Like nyinyi wote mtaona lion, nyinyi wote mtaogopa, na nyinyi wote mtareact based on your fly or flight response. And so yeah, that's what anxiety is all about. And according to DSM-5, kuna different categories. If I'm not wrong, the 5th edition has like 22 categories. The first one is neurodevelopmental, where you get autism and the likes. Kuna depressive disorders, where you get postpartum depression, where you get MDD, which is major depressive disorder. So ziko mingi categories, and so anxiety itself is a whole ass category. Ikona disorders kibao, and so we're going to learn them, and I'll try and explain all of them, God help me, but yeah, there are several. And so it's the 5th category in DSM-5. It has 12 disorders under it. Kuna separation anxiety disorder, like how a child can suffer from this, or a pet when they are separated from their owner, when they're separated from their parent, and then they're worrying like, will they come back, is their parent safe, such thing. And so that not being with them causes them anxiety. So that's separation anxiety disorder. We have selective mutism, where in specific situations the person suffering from this disorder is not talking. There is specific phobia, where you have an exaggerated fear towards a certain thing, like hydrophobia, where you fear water or large water bodies, or like swimming, or like agoraphobia. I think that's fear of open spaces, such things. There's social anxiety disorder or social phobia, where you are very anxious in social settings, in social environments, in celebrations, in gatherings. We have panic disorder, where you get panic attacks. Oh, actually that's different. There's panic disorder, pardon me, and there's panic attack specifier. So in brackets, specifier inamaanisha you get a panic attack with a certain trigger, like it's specific, you know. And then there's agoraphobia. I don't know why this is a classification on its own, a disorder on its own, and we have specific phobia. I should think it should fall under that, but anyway, we have generalized anxiety disorder, GAD in short, which is the most common disorder in this spectrum. Now, watu wakisemanga I was diagnosed with anxiety, this is what they usually refer to, like generalize. It's not specific. You just have anxiety about a lot of things, you know. And then we have substance or medication induced anxiety disorder. We have the different subtypes or disorders under the anxiety category. We have anxiety disorder due to another medical condition. We have other specified anxiety disorder, and finally we have unspecified anxiety disorder. So ni mingi sana. You can go and do your research. When you Google DSM-5, it will bring you the whole document. You can actually download it. I have my own digital copy that I refer to once in a while to refresh my memory. So it's really good to know if you're invested and want to learn a lot about abnormal psychology. So yeah, that's that. And because of time, I don't want this video to be too long. We're going to look finally at the difference between anxiety attack and panic attack. Ujue which is which, like which one did I experience a while back, which one is more intense, which one is more subtle and stuff like that. Yeah, so we've looked at what anxiety is, the different disorders in the category, and now we're looking at the difference between anxiety attack and panic attack. So I have a chart. You see the way in high school ukiambiwa differentiate, you used to draw a table and then similarities unaandika in sentence form. Like similarities unasema both have, but contrast unaeka table. Yeah, that's what I've done. So panic attack and anxiety attack. Panic attack is more intense. Like you feel the worry, the like it's the end of the world sort of feeling, like excessive worry. You have a lot of apprehension. It's more intense. It's the more powerful one. So panic attack is more intense. Anxiety attack is less intense. The panic attack can occur with or without a trigger. Inaweza come to, like it can come because of something specific that triggered you, ama inaweza come to hivyo bila reason. Scary, right? Yo, the light is going. Hey, gisi naingia mapema siku hizi. Anyway, I was talking about how in panic attack it can occur with or without a trigger. So inaweza come to, ama inaweza kuwa na specific trigger, like you've seen something, you've seen someone, you've had a certain you've had certain bad news, etc. And then on the other side, anxiety attack are a response to a perceived threat. Yeah. And then finally, panic attack often come without warning. And then anxiety attack come in anticipation of something that causes extreme worry. So you could be thinking about your presentation to come, the fact that you're finishing college, the fact that you have to move out, the fact that you're getting a divorce, and then that brings on the anxiety attack. But panic attack, it can often come bila tu warning, like there's no perceived threat, there's no situation that looks threatening, but you're there and you have the panic attack here. And then similarities we have, both cause a rapid heart rate, just like how we defined in the definition of anxiety in terms of it being able to manifest physically. And so roho inadunda like it's going faster than the usual rate, because usually when we perceive danger or are in actual danger, our bodies read that, they produce adrenaline and they activate the system that ina increase heart rate ndo uweze kufight ama kuhepa, you get. So yeah, both cause a rapid heart rate, both cause shallow breathing, and in both there's a sense of distress. Yeah. And so yeah, that's the difference and the similarity between anxiety attack and panic attack, because both are very close, they're very similar, they're like sisters who look alike kwa umbali. But yeah, that's part 1 on anxiety. Stay tuned for part 2 where I get to talk about the symptoms, the manifestation, how to improve your lifestyle so that you do not trigger your anxiety if it's already there, or how to not place yourself in a place where you are susceptible to getting it. So lifestyle changes, how you can use your behavior to keep anxiety at bay, and action plans and management techniques of how to handle anxiety if you have it. But yeah, I hope so far that you have learned something tangible. Thank you for staying till this far. You're a really lovely gang. You're a big sister. Your little big sister is so appreciative. Subscribe if you haven't already. It really supports my channel. See you on my next video. Bye.